what is kind of your role on the team? Because, and this is a kind of a different question, not necessarily your position, but like, what is that you bring to this team? Because I'm thinking that you bring a lot of spunk and fire and pizzazz to the team. Tell me what that's like.
Okay. I teach everyone chants. I chant. I try to spread as much positivity as possible. It's the best.
Listen, I can clearly see the excitement in your eyes. So when did you start playing volleyball, and what's been your influence?
I started playing in 5th grade on my school team at my old school, and I just loved it. I loved all the teamwork. I liked hitting, and I just continued it.
Cool. Let's take it over to Jasleen. Jasleen, tell me what it is that position you play, and what is it that you feel like it is that quality that you bring to the character of this volleyball program?
I'm the setter, and I feel like I keep our team under control. I feel like whenever like things get out of hand or people start stressing out, I'm the one that kind of like people lean on. I'm like their pillar, you know?
Sure. So when Sydney's acting up, you saying, hey, Sydney, let's get it together. So, Coach, with that being said, man, kind of describe what this team has been like for you.
Man, this team, I talked to the girls towards the end of the season about where they rank of me coaching them. And I told them that out of all the teams I've coached, this is one of the better ones and one of my favorite ones that it is coaching. I depended on Jasleen a lot. She's actually our captain as well. So she ran the first half of the practice with me just observing. She would take a lot of cues from me. She would look at me and I would just cue her in, like, hey, let's do this, or let's do this warm-up or this exercise. Sydney, she's a veteran. She returned again. I was happy when she came back. She was out when the season first started. She was in California. She was at a tournament over there, national tournament. So she couldn't join us the first half, the beginning of the season. But this team is literally one of my favorite teams that I've ever had.
So with that being said, I'm going to go around the horn, but I'll start with you. Let me start with Jasleen. What would be the one word that you would use to describe this team, right? One word or phrase is absolutely fine. And, Coach, you think about it. I'm going to ask Sydney next, and then I'll come to you last.
I'd have to say that one phrase works like a well-oiled machine.
Got you. I would ask what that really means, but I think you've described it already. Let's ask Sydney. Sydney, what do you think? What is that one word or phrase that you would use to describe this volleyball team?
This is going to take me a minute.
You're on a countdown. 5,
Oh, shoot.
4.
Plain great. Just plain awesome. I can't even come up with the word. It was so good.
Sure. Coach, what do you think? What is this team this year's mantra?
Phenomenal. I don't think we even trailed in any games that we played in. When other teams would come back on us or close the gap of the lead that we had, these girls just rallied together and they came through. A problem that we had this year was our serving and our hitting. We would hit great, and then there would be like a time during the game where our hitting was just off, and that's how the other team would catch up to us. But these girls did not let that affect them. They would shake it off, and next play they would just like nothing ever happened.
Sure. So when you talk about having this kind of success, Sydney, you have the headsets right now. Tell me, other than winning the ACAC championship, what was that defining moment for you? Like, what is that one memory that will stick out for you?
On this team.
On this team, yes. And then you can tell us what you were doing in California, what tournament that was.
I think it was probably the game against Northeast before the tournament. Oh, it was so good. We were cheering. We were positive. We were screaming from the sidelines. It just clicked.
Gotcha. Jasleen?
I also feel like it was the game against Southeast that we had where everything kind of just like everything was working. We had actual we were getting good rallies. We were getting good points. We were earning our stuff.
Sure.
Like, everything just felt good.
Gotcha. So, Coach, I'm going to ask you this question, and you've been on this show with me now about every year. And what is your conversation with your student athletes about, obviously, the expectation and then the academic rigor? How do you coach them, and what's your advice to them to kind of keep up with all that is expected of them?
When it comes to academics, I would tell them at the beginning of the year, like you're a student first, an athlete 2nd. If you're not producing in the classroom, you can't produce on this team.
Gotcha.
These girls I didn't even have to worry about that this year. They would always produce in the classroom. If some of the members of the team had to be out due to participating in projects for their classroom. For example, I had drama majors that, hey, I have a recital, I can't come. I have dance majors, hey, I have practice, it's going to extend, so I may be late to practice. I would never punish a player over that because
Sure.
they're students first and then they're players second.
Got you. So, Jasleen, how do you manage it? Like, what are those steps that you take, right? How do you prioritize your athletics and your academics?
For me, I try to work on I do my stuff within the class period that's given. But if it's something like if it's an assignment that will take a little bit longer, I'll make sure that I get it done right after practice or in a class time where I have like extra time to get that assignment done.
Gotcha. Sydney?
Whew. I keep my schoolwork in school. Bless you. In my volleyball and volleyball. I never bring homework to practice. And if I do have homework, then I always prioritize it before volleyball.
Gotcha. So, so a lot of times in athletics, we talk about nutrition. So what is it that you guys are eating before you play in these matches for maximum strength?
I love Kind bars. They're my favorite things in the world. And I love Gator White, the Gatorade White. It has extra electrolytes in it. I like the cucumber lime flavor.
Okay,
Oh,
that's different. Jasleen, tell me what are you eating? Snickers and Skittles? What do we have going?
No, I usually try to make sure I have I try to balance everything out. So I'll make sure I have protein and sugar so that way I can keep up my energy. But I try not to have too much of one thing or the other. So I'm usually eating something small like a sandwich or just like the Kind bars like Sydney said, stuff like that.
So, Coach, what is your approach? I mean, obviously, in high school and college, we talk a lot about nutrition and all of those things. What is kind of your conversation with young student athletes? Because we know they're speaking of the Kind bars and all of those things, but we're probably eating some other things sometimes.
Yes, as far as I know, this is the first year I didn't have to talk to these girls about not eating like Takis or hot Cheetos during before practice. Before a game. Our parents were amazing this year. They would cater every single meal before each game day. And they always brought healthy food. It was nothing that would blow them up or make them feel slow or sluggish. I mean, I give it up to the parents. They did a phenomenal job this year of feeding our team.
So my question to you, Coach, what keeps you going, right? And so tell us a little bit. How long have you been at Classen? And kind of what keeps you motivated? Obviously, 4 championships is really, easy motivation. But how long have you been there, and what keeps you going?
It's about commitment. I remember I was the assistant principal at Classen, and I told this story 4 years ago, but they didn't have a coach. And since I have a PE background, they wanted me to coach the team, but I wanted to concentrate more on being an admin and not being a coach anymore. But in the end, they were going to forfeit their season the first year if they didn't have a coach. So I stepped in, and whenever I was transferred to another school to be their admin, the first thing that popped into my head was commitment. I'm committed to this team, and I'm still there because I'm still committed. I don't have any plans of slowing down. as of now. But it's all about commitment. I love the school. I love the atmosphere. I always say Classen feels like home.
Sure.
Because I grew up in that neighborhood. My parents still live down the street. So to me, that neighborhood, that school, I would see it every single day as a kid when we played outside. So to me, it feels like home.
Absolutely. That's a really cool story. Jasleen, what is it that really keeps you motivated, right? And then how did you get started in volleyball? And this is kind of a three-part. And who's your influence? What makes you want to continue to play this?
I first found out about volleyball through my older sister. Her and her friends, they would start like a little circle in the backyard, and me and my other sister, we would get in that circle. She would tell us how to do different things, and after a while, in 6th grade, in 5th grade, I joined a YMCA team, and throughout those years, my older sisters have always been my biggest influence because they were always the ones helping me and teaching me my new things.
Sure. Sydney, same question to you. How did you get started, and what's been your influence?
I got started in 5th grade. Volleyball was the sport. Like, oh, you play volleyball? You're cool. And I had no idea what it was, so I signed up, and I loved it. Me and my dad would practice in the backyard. We'd use these gold medal videos by Misty May. Whew, she's my influence.
Gotcha.
She plays beach volleyball and indoor. Her and her partner won a couple years ago. I still watch that game. But, yeah, she helped me get my float serve down. She helped me get my platform down. I still watch her videos.
I should start watching them. Let me ask you this question: as a student athlete at Classen SAS, playing in a rich tradition school of volleyball, how are you viewed as a student athlete, other than just being cool? But what is it like to walk through those halls and they know, hey, those ladies are for real?
If I was to describe it in one word, it'd be bold. Like whenever you wear your jersey to school. Oh, she plays volleyball.
Absolutely. What about you, Jasleen?
For me, walking through the halls, I feel like it was a little bit different because I didn't go to Classen for as long as some of my other teammates. So, like, they have a lot more connections. So, like, when they're seen walking through the hallways, they're more like, oh, I know her. She plays volleyball. She's on the varsity team. And for me, that was different this year because I knew a lot more people.
Sure.
So, like, but everybody kind of knows I play volleyball already. They get the idea, and I just love it so much.
Got you. So, Coach, do you encourage your girls to participate in other sports and not just soccer? I mean, not soccer, but volleyball. I'm sorry.
Yes, I always do that, especially when we have our private conversations, just to get them a feel of what else is out there besides volleyball. I know your daughter last year also played basketball and volleyball for us.
Yeah.
She had a tremendous success. So, I mean, I would watch her during her basketball games, because I would be there every home game. I mean, I believe she had good success whenever she played for us. But, yeah, I always encourage them to do something besides volleyball.
Gotcha. Jasleen, is there another sport you play besides volleyball?
I've done a few sports in the past, but none of them have really stuck with me other than volleyball.
Sure. Do you have a desire to play volleyball when you go to high school next year?
I do.
Okay.
I want to play for the high school as well, or find just like somewhere where I can fit in, have a good connection with my team again, play to my heart's content.
Got you. Sydney?
I do not play any other sports.
It's just strictly.
Well, beach volleyball and volleyball, two different things.
Different surface for sure. I think it's different.
Same thing with jazz, though. None of them ever stuck. I tried, but no.
Now, you play volleyball. Do you have a desire to go beyond high school? Do you feel like you want to go try to play this collegiately?
My dream is to play in college.
Okay. Well, listen, you're working on that dream right now. And so, Coach, we're about to go here in a second, but let me ask, this is Classen SAS, right? So what is your conversation about going to college, right? Though we know that these student athletes are on that track, but what else is that conversation about? Hey, if you really want to make this happen, what is required of them?
It's grades.
Sure.
You got to have good grades, and if you want to go to college, maintain that GPA. uh, Try to apply for scholarships as well.
Sure.
I know a lot. There's some scouts out that will come to some of their games, and they'll come to some of their club games as well.
Absolutely.
To scout them.
Well, listen, we're about 3 minutes, and we're going to cut and come back, take a break. But let me go around the horn really quickly. Kind of the last question of our time or this segment is, who out there, Sydney, do you want to say thank you to that has really contributed to your success as a student athlete at Classen SAS? It could be whomever you want to say thank you to.
I want to thank my mom and my dad. They've pushed me in a good way.
Absolutely.
And they've just spread so much positivity throughout the house.
Got you. Anyone else?
All my friends.
Okay. No worries.
Whew, my volleyball friends. It's
No.
so much positivity.
Absolutely. Jasleen?
I just want to say thank you to my mom and dad for helping me get into the sport, you know, putting through their efforts to get me to practices or private lessons, whatever I need. And I also want to thank my sisters for actually like my older sister, she would every time I would like mess up in the backyard, she'd be like, do this instead, you know, and she'd fix what I'm doing wrong.
Sure.
And she'd practice with me.
She's a good big sister.
Yeah.
Coach Blanco, tell me, those people out there, obviously you have an incredible administration, but tell us those people you would like to say thank you.
I would like to say a huge thank you to Coach Pomeroy. She couldn't be here today, but that's our assistant coach. Huge thank you because she stepped in and helped out whenever my current assistant coach left. She's one of the reasons why we have tremendous success. I like to thank again the administration, Mr. Pickard. I also want to thank Mr. Thomas, our old principal, because he would text me, just always wishing the girls good luck. So thank you, Mr. Thomas. And also, finally, as always, I want to thank my wife and my daughter, because me being with these girls takes time away from them. And but they understand. It's been 4 years already. they know what's going on. But I want to say thank you to them as well.
Well, man, you guys are incredible. Obviously, my daughter played for you, and so you guys run an incredible program. And so just wish you all the continued success. And I'm glad you feel like you're at home and doing all you can to impact young people's lives.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you're listening to the OKCPS Coaches Show here on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. We'll be right back.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and who wants to win $10,000? First of all, you got to be a high school senior in the Oklahoma City Metro. Second of all, you got to hit that QR code down at the bottom. Third of all, this is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops at Country Stores and Perry Publishing Broadcasting. And don't forget Superprint.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and who wants to win $10,000? First of all, you got to be a high school senior in the Oklahoma City Metro. Second of all, you got to hit that QR code down at the bottom. Third of all, this is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops at Country Stores and Perry Publishing Broadcasting. And don't forget Superprint.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
And we're back here at the OKCPS Coaches Show on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Presented by Metro Tech Technology Centers, Dick's Sporting Goods, Bedford's Photography, Groundworks, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, all about now photography, TCU Federal Credit Union, Sam's Club, SSM Health and St. Anthony's, Oklahoma City Community College, Super Prep, Perry Publishing and Broadcasting. Hello, you all. We are excited to be here for the second half of our incredible show. We have with us Southeast High School cross country. We are joined by student athlete Jalen Ramirez and also student athlete Christopher Aguilar and their coach is John Like Bear Zaire. Good to have you guys. You guys excited about being on?
Oh,
yes.
All right, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, you guys are getting ready to participate soon, I think, in this Chili Pepper Invitational in Arkansas.
We just participated.
You
in
just
that.
participated.
Yeah.
Tell me, Coach. Tell me all about the chili
Okay.
pepper, the
Chili
red hot
pepper-
chili pepper.
Yes, the Red Hot Chili Pepper. Chili Pepper Cross Country Festival is what it's called, and it's
Gotcha.
one of the biggest meets in the entire South of the United States. Like teams from Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, they all go to it, and it's a pretty big deal. There are about like 800 people in the boys race, so Chris ran against 800, and it's like the fastest meet of the year too, and it's just a really cool experience for cross country to get
Sure.
the limelight.
Sure.
I'd say they have a full production, like they do the live broadcast, and yeah, it's a pretty fun event, and we got to stay in a hotel overnight, and so something that we don't not often do for cross country.
Absolutely. So Jalen, tell me, how was that experience for you?
Oh, it was amazing.
Sure.
Okay, I could talk about it all day.
Well, let's talk. Let's talk.
The course, honestly, is like the best course I've ever ran on. It's mainly downhill, which we don't normally get. We normally get uphill, especially like ACAC. But it was just the atmosphere. The atmosphere, honestly, was just so amazing. It's all of these runners that just love doing the sport that they do, and they do
Sure.
it so amazingly.
Sure. Let's let Christopher share a little bit. So tell me what your experience was like, Christopher, and where did you place and how did you feel about your experience at the Chili Pepper Invitational Festival, something like that?
I mean, it was fun. This is my second time going, and really, I think the difference between the past, last year and this year is that this year, really, half of the team went. And last year it was only like 5 of us that went from like the school, our team, and so it was fun. Both years was fun, but this year it was really fun because I think everything else, like the course was fun. What Jalen was saying, the course was fun. The environment was cool, but I think really what made me like feel like made it more funner was like the people there.
Sure.
People
sure.
there. So, my teammates were there. We had fun. We really did have fun.
So beyond just running, right, in an amazing course, what was your fondest memory of your time outside of running? Like, what was that? What was that thing that you guys did, experienced, that made it that much more enjoyable for you?
I mean, we also went out to eat.
And listen, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Was it some good food?
Yeah, it was bomb food. We ate some pizza. I mean, we did the same thing last year. Like, we ate pizza. But that pizza is just fire. That pizza is fire.
It's like fancy pizza.
Yeah.
It's a fancy pizza.
It's fire pizza. And like I said, it's just better to do it with, like, your teammates. You know?
Sure.
Like, this time was, like, half of our teammates that went. And it was just fun. And, the food was good.
Gotcha. So let's ask Jalen. Let's get your best moment besides running. You can go ahead and switch to Christopher. Besides running, what was that moment for you?
Besides running, I think praying before the race is definitely such an amazing experience with your team.
Sure.
It's just a lot of like team bonding, and I love that. And also eating. Oh my gosh. We always go to eat after our race or before, and it's just we always go to like the best places.
Got you. So Coach, let's stay on this eating path right now.
Okay.
We talk to these athletes all the time about diet, nutrition. Clearly, when you're running so much, is there what does diet look like? And I say diet, those are bad terms, but what does eating look like? And you encourage your student athletes?
Yeah, so number one, I want them to be eating because sometimes they'll skip meals. They skip lunch because they don't like the school lunches. And number one thing is to have stuff in your stomach to give you energy, right?
Sure.
And so the number one thing I tell them is, like, guys, you have to eat. You have to be replenishing the things that you lose because when you run, and we do a lot of really hard training to get to the level we're at. So they're burning so many calories. I feel like the most important thing is to just be putting stuff in your body and then trying to put the right things in your body, the things that are going to like feel best in your stomach, especially before a race. I tell them no spicy food. And now then we have this one kid who ran pretty fast with some spicy food, so only he can run with spicy food. But yeah, I try and tell them to stay away from stuff like that before a race. But we have some traditions that we do. We'll eat pasta nights. We done IHOP before like a night race that we went to, and that was pretty cool. That was fun. Yeah, it's the bonding around food, I think, is what humans do best, and so it's what we enjoy doing too. And yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So off air a little bit, you said that you were going to brag on them. What is it that makes these two student athletes so special in your eyes?
Okay, yeah, these guys are inspirations to me. So Jalen, she's a sophomore, and she puts in the most work out of anybody because I know that she has the potential to do anything that she puts her mind to. And sometimes I have to push her outside of her comfort zone, but I believe that that's what a lot of our kids need is like someone who believes in what their potential is and to push them there.
Sure.
Because I feel like most of the families don't really understand running like as a sport. They're like,
Sure.
why are you running? Why are you running cross country? Like that sounds like a punishment, right? But like these kids get the sport of running, and like they know that I care about the sport and about like helping them reach their levels. And Jalen has done that to like it's like perfect like degree. And she trains. Last year she trained in the winter time, and she got to a level of, as a freshman, she made state in 3 events. At our conference meet, she won 4 gold. She's currently ranked in the top 10 in cross country right now. So all those accomplishments, but it's the things that are underneath all of that, her spirit to not quit, to keep on being dedicated even though sometimes you don't see the results. Like she has a lot of resolve. And so because of that, she can do anything she puts her mind to. And so that's Jalen. She's awesome.
Way to go, Jalen.
Yeah, she's the best. And then Chris is really cool because he's a senior this year, and he started running last year just because a friend of his kind of invited him to do it, which is a lot of times how kids join. But he's a leader for us this year, and he's more of like a leader by example kind of guy. He doesn't, he's not going to be yelling in your face, but he's going to go out there and be consistent day in and day out. And everybody sees that, and he's helping build the culture that we want. And when we make state this year, it's going to be because of him and his leadership. And when the teams after him win state and stuff, he's going to be one of the people that we're going to point to for that leadership,
Sure.
the foundation.
Sure. I'll give you a chance to speak here in a second, Christopher. But Jalen, you have the headsets right now. Tell me, what is it that drives you, and what is it that drives you to run for Coach Zaire like you do?
My teammates, honestly, my teammates are what pushed me to be the best that I can be, and my coach especially, because they're just so supportive, honestly. My teammates are the most supportive people I've ever been around, and I love that.
Sure.
It's amazing, and they push me.
Sure. Christopher, tell me, what is it that motivates and drives you to kind of to be that? That's a big compliment that your coach just gave you. He's going to look to you to say you're the reason why. What really motivates you to continue at this, being such a neophyte?
Mm-hmm. I mean, really, it's just like I want to reach new levels. Really, I want to see what I'm capable of, and it's like what Jalen was saying, like doing it with other people, doing it with teammates, like doing it with the people you love is like that's 10 times better, you know, and like that's just the best thing that I'm glad that I have a great team that has my back, and we support each other every race. Practices is crazy.
Sure.
We support each other at practices, and that's really what keeps me motivated to like what Zaire was saying. Like I really like last year, that was my first year running. Like I wasn't my plan for running was never like I was never supposed to run. It was just soccer and basketball, and that's it. But until really I met these beautiful people, and they changed my heart, and
Sure.
I'm still here.
No, that's so cool. Let me just tell you this: you might have a voice for radio, man. Like you kind of got this deal going. Like it's pretty cool, man.
Thank you.
You look for some part-time work sometime.
Hey, let me know. I'm here. Let me know.
Cool beans, man. So, what's the furthest you've ran?
Furthest?
Yes, in one competition, one practice. What's that distance?
Well, I mean, yeah, 3 miles.
3 miles?
Yeah, three. Yeah. Around for competition.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean, usually like practices. I mean, maybe more, but
gotcha.
But competition, yes, like
Cool
3.
beans.
But fast though, it's fast.
It's fast?
Yeah, it's fast.
We do
Come on,
training.
Coach.
We do training a little different than some other schools. We go like you know more of the short intervals, but a lot of them getting to the race distance and the volume is kind of lower, but the intensity is higher. So like they'll do 3 miles at practice, but it's like a fast 3 miles. Yeah,
it's crazy. You'll sweat.
Gotcha. let's go over here to Jalen. Jalen, how do you balance all of your athletics with your academics? Like how do you prioritize your day and to have success in all of these places?
Oh, okay. Sometimes I just take like after races, especially because we have races normally on Saturdays, and Saturdays is normally when I catch up on most of my work. And after races, I'm so dead. I am so dead after my race. But I still like manage to spend time doing the work and studying for like tests and stuff. I normally do that.
Gotcha. So, Coach, what's your conversation to your student athletes about balancing that, and then in your conversation with them about preparing to go to college?
Yeah. I think the balance, the number one thing is remembering that like what you do isn't who you are, right? With like being an athlete, that's not who you are. Even being a student, that's not who you are. You need to balance like everything in life, and knowing that who you are is different than what you do, and kind of understanding that identity of who you are is the most important thing. And then like that can spill over into like how you carry yourself. You want to be excellent, right? So you be excellent in your athletics, you be excellent in school, you be excellent with helping your family out. Like it's all those things that build like the character of a person. That is the most important thing that they can take from cross country, from coaching, and be like adults one day that are making a difference in their world.
Sure. That's really cool. So, Jalen, let me ask this question. I believe that there are some transferable skills from athletics to life, and Coach just alluded to some. What is that one transferable skill that you feel like you've taken from cross country and applied to your life?
Okay. Say this. We're running, and there's a big hill, and you're like, oh, I'm so scared to go up this hill. Like, I don't know if I can, like, do it. And then you get up the hill.
Yes.
And it's just downhill, and you're like, I made it. It wasn't bad at all. There was nothing to worry about. And that just, like, transfers to life, because it makes me think these difficulties, they're going to be difficult for, like, a good, like, little bit.
Sure.
But afterwards, it's just amazing because you can just roll down that hill.
Absolutely.
And just smoothly run across.
Got you. So let's share it with Christopher. Christopher, what do you think that one transferable skill is for you, and why?
Really, it's simple. Just never giving up. You know, really like you know, every single practice is like. There's many times I want to give up because it's hard. Like it's not easy, but I feel like if I don't give up, it's gonna pay off later on. Sure. You know, it's later on. And I feel like that's the same thing in life. You know, you don't give up. You keep on pushing, and soon enough, God sees that, and boom, like you know, blessings.
Got you. So you just started cross country a year ago. You said it was just soccer and basketball.
Yeah.
Do you have a desire to go to college and participate in a sport, or?
I mean, I'm still thinking about it. You know,
Yes,
I mean, it is my senior year, but yeah, I'm still thinking about it. I mean, running is cool. I like running. I lucky enjoy it, but like I said, I'm still thinking about it.
All right, so one more question for you. Probably several more questions, but I got to ask this one.
I
So you go from soccer.
Yeah.
You play basketball.
I play a lot of sports.
And now you are running cross country.
Yeah.
How differently are your friends looking at you now? They're like, "You running cross country, man? What's up with that?" Like, how is that response with your friends as it relates to cross country? It's not sexy like basketball or soccer, right?
Yeah, it's not really well known as soccer and basketball. It's cross country is really I don't know if it's I don't want to say looked down on, but it's just like kind of to the side. Like with soccer and football and like basketball has more looks, and really, I mean, I don't know. It's just I mean, my friends still support me. You know what I'm saying? They still there, you know. And I mean, they're still there.
Coach, so tell me, how did you get into cross country, and how did you get to Southeast?
Yeah, cross country has been something that I've been a part of since I was in 8th grade. I'm a lot older than people think I am, but I'm not that old. Okay, but I've been around cross country maybe gosh, like 15 years. It's something that I love. Like, I just got drawn to it. It was like I played basketball, but I didn't get a lot of playing time. So, like, I defaulted to running eventually and found out I was really good at it, and I pushed. And I learned so much about life through the sport, and I think God taught me a lot through that. And to me, it's more than just a sport. It's a vehicle for learning. And because of that, like, it drives me to always – I love the sport. I love coaching it. I get to do kind of a calling on my life. So how I got to Southeast, I coached at Roosevelt Middle School, which is actually another South Side middle school. That was my first teaching job and coaching job, and I fell in love with the South Side, specifically the people in it. And I knew I wanted to be at a high school eventually, and it just ended up being perfect, God's timing on it, because the principal at Roosevelt got the job at Southeast High School. And for me, that was the time to make the jump to high school. So I emailed him about it. I was like, hey, got any openings? And you know, they made something happen for me. And so, you know, I'm blessed to even have the job and the position, and just like doing what I feel like is a calling of mine. And and just yeah, that's why I'm here, and I love it. I don't see myself ever leaving. Like, it's something that I wanna bring a state championship to them, and then I also wanna just keep bringing like the mentorship that I do. Yeah.
Cool beans. Hey, Jalen, if there is a CD or a list of songs that you're listening to, either practicing or I'm not sure what the rules are, tell me what is that? Tell me what that list is.
What's the workout mix?
Yeah, what's the mix? What are we listening to? And then we'll come to you, Christopher.
I've gotten so used to Zaire telling us that, oh, no music at practice, oh, no headphones, no this, no that I've lost track of like my music. I don't listen to music as much as I used to.
What about the pre-race playlist?
There was a pre-race playlist that we played like one time, but we didn't really play it that much, so I can't really say anything about that.
All right. Christopher, you got some jams, some tunes you listening to?
I do got some jams. Really, I really like to listen to music that will pump me up, you know, like every other athlete, you know, that I know. And really, I like to listen to like rap, you know, like I like especially like Drake sometimes, you know, he be fire sometimes.
You got bars?
No, I do not got bars. I do not got bars. But I know people that got bars, but I don't personally. I don't got bars.
Got you. So, Coach, tell me, what is your pregame? I would say your pregame speech. What are those things that you are doing every time? Right?
Yeah,
what are you saying to your student athletes?
I try and keep it from the heart, but I also try and remind them of the things that we work on. One of the things I've been doing this season is just telling them that every race is a practice session, in the sense of there's something we can learn from this race. Racing is an art. It's a skill. We can train really good and be really good at training and then not show up for races. And so I got kids that have potential to run 30 seconds a minute faster than what they're doing now. So I just try and tell them, take the pressure off. There's no failing in it, right? If you take a risk and you fail, that's growth. And I try and remind them. So I normally try and hit those things and just remind them about the little things, about like, you know, do go out at the strategy that we talked about. Like, it could be different for different kids, like going out hard, taking it easy, or taking a little step back. So
like really quickly, who out there do you want to say thank you to before we sign off the air tonight?
I want to say thank you to my coach, really my coaches. Really, I got another coach. I don't know where he at right now, but he over there. But yeah, I just want to say thanks to my coaches, because I mean, they really, you know, they lay out the work for us, and really what we just gotta do is just do it, really. And the workouts, they work, and you know, I'm seeing myself grow, and I'm seeing you know, my teammates, my friends grow. So it's just, I just want to say thanks to my coaches.
All right, ship those to Jalen, and we'll get Jalen. Who would you like to say thank you to?
I would like to say thank you to God, honestly, for giving me this ability to run, and just to give all the glory to him, and also definitely my coaches, because they put so much work into our team, and it's honestly worked. Compared to last year to this year, so much growth.
Gotcha. Coach, who would you like to say thank you to?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing as her. You know, I thank God for every opportunity that I have, and for blessing me to be able to do a job that doesn't feel like work to me. It's really, I mean, it's hard work, but it's not like, oh, I gotta go to work today. It's something that I enjoy doing. And then just thank all of them for taking a chance on cross country and my parents, and everybody.
Yeah, no, man, you guys have really been cool, and so we thank God for each one of you. You've been listening to the OKCPS Coaches Show here on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM, brought to you by Metro Technology Centers, Dick's Sporting Goods, Bedford Photography, Groundworks, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, All About Now Photography, TTCU Federal Credit Union, Sam's Club, SSM Health, and St. Anthony's, Oklahoma City Community College, Super Prep, Perry Publishing and Broadcasting. Listen, now stay tuned for the Kansas City Chiefs versus the New Orleans Saints. Go Chiefs!
Go Saints, go Saints.
Have a great
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and who wants to win $10,000? First of all, you got to be a high school senior in the Oklahoma City Metro. Second of all, you got to hit that QR code down at the bottom. Third of all, this is brought to you by Love's Travel Stops at Country Stores and Perry Publishing Broadcasting. And don't forget Super Prep.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13